So the other day when I was up at Rick's woodyard with the Japa 365, we had taken a little break and I had started the machine back up and I was walking around to come to the front of it, and I noticed something that was not good. And it's going to cause me to do a little maintenance to the Japa here today. Something that involves getting under the hood. So I'm going to show you what the problem was, and then I'm going to try to figure out, it's pretty easy, I think I should be able to do it, how to perform this little maintenance and add something back to the Japa. So like I mentioned, we had taken a little break and I was walking around the machine when I noticed down here on the motor that runs the conveyor, it was covered with hydraulic fluid, and there was a leak coming out of this bolt or this plug right here. I think what this is for is if you wanted to hook up another hydraulic line to something like a disc cleaner, you could do that here. But regardless, this was leaking. So this little plug or bolt, whatever, had come loose, and there was hydraulic fluid all over this motor and dripping down the side here. So we tightened that back down, but then, because it was leaking, the hydraulic fluid level right here is now low. So I need to add some hydraulic fluid, and to do that, it's pretty simple. All I need to do is remove this bolt and this bolt right there, and then this whole infeed lifts up and you can get in there under the hood, and that is where you can access the hydraulic fluid tank. So all I need for this is a wrench, 17mm wrench. I need the hydraulic oil, and then I need a little funnel that I can get in there and add this fluid back in. All right, so like I mentioned, it's fairly simple. There's just two bolts I need to take off. All right, so the bolts are off. I got those down on my little pack out case. I had to get that because it matched the machine. And now, the one thing, there is a little spring-loaded bolt back here that when you lift this hood up, this should slide into place and lock to hold everything up. So in order to lift this up, I do need to undo the infeed conveyor. I need to lift that up, and then I believe with lifting this handle, everything should lift up. I think at this moment it'd be a good time to remind everyone this is not a how-to channel. This is not a how to do this. This is just me doing it. All right, so I'm gonna lift that up. And now I believe I can just lift this. Oh my goodness. What the heck? This is kind of heavy. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you heard that or not, but that bolt now just spring-loaded. It's sprung in there and locked in place, and that holds everything up. Oh boy. So there is the inner workings of a Japa 365. So right down there is the flux capacitor, which, as many of you know, is what makes time travel possible. Over here is the turbo encapsulator, and there, right there, hydraulic oil. That is where we need to fill the tank. But there you go. There's the cylinder for the ram. Some of the other hoses. Very interesting. And I mean that in the sense of I have no idea really what I'm looking at, but it's very interesting. All right, I'm not exactly sure what is going to be the best way to approach this. I'm thinking maybe from over, well, all right, so I think I've got the funnel in there and enough room cleared out to be able to pour some of this in. All right, so I think that's all I'm going to put in for now. I did take more than I was anticipating, but I think that'll be good for now. I'm going to start it up and circulate things for a little bit and see if that level on that gauge changes at all. So what I am going to do before I bolt this back down is I think I will just double check, go around and make sure all these fittings are snug while I'm in here. Make sure nothing else has rattled loose. The other thing I noticed is the chain on the saw needs to be tightened up a little bit. So I think I'm going to do that as well. There it is. There is the inside under the hood of the Japa 365. So the cap is back on. I've got this belt back kind of in place. And now, I believe this belt is back in place. Should be. So now to lower this thing back down, you pull this little pin and it comes out, and then I'm thinking you can just slowly lower this thing down. Just like that. All right. I think that is all back together. I'm not sure, I don't think I need to put these bolts back in just to start it up and run it for a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna let it run for a good 5 or 10 minutes or so and get warmed up, and then I'll check everything over. So a pretty simple process, one that, yes, even I was able to handle. Adding some hydraulic oil back in after finding that one little leak over there and getting that all taken care of. I think now the Japa is ready to get back into action. However, I've got a whole pile of rounds over there by the 37D that I think I'm gonna tackle next. We shall see, you shall see, when we see you again right back here. Thanks for watching. Oh, we'll see you tomorrow night, actually, on the Friday night live stream. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool. That whole hood lifts right up. What do you want? So do not take what you're seeing and apply it to your own situation, because it's probably not right. This can also be used if you ever find yourself in a position where you need to listen to something or hear around a corner. You can pull this out and then you can try to tune in and hear. I might be able to get a hold of John at frickin' Jeep like this as well. I might be able to hear his can ringing. I'll be standing here doing something, you know, whatever, and then I turn around and boom, just walking right behind me. Hey.